From it, the fact that there are tough times out there and people are struggling.
One woman, you may recognise her, decided to take matters into her own hands and begin a campaign of empowerment which aims to get people back to work. Before we have a chat with her, let's take a look.
Well, come on, sit down, sit down. Take a weight off, as they say.
Ray,
Yeah?
he's your son.
Sorry?
Your son. Raimondo is your son.
Poor Ray got an awful shot there. Carolanne
fight.
Lowe, aka Francesca from Fair City, joins us now. You weren't long in the soap, but by God, you had some impact.
I did, didn't I? My goodness. I actually remember doing that scene. All I wanted to do was hold the baby. I kept saying, please, can I have the baby? And poor Ray's face when he found out that he wasn't actually Raimondo's son. That was a big day. Ooh.
Because Ray was all excited, because all he has is Mondo in his life, you know, and this was taken away from him.
But imagine calling the baby Raimondo. I thought that was great. I mean, you know, the guys in Fair City, great script writing. Raimondo. Actually, it was great because I had this brilliant Brazilian accent, and I remember the Brazilian ambassador to Ireland actually invited me for dinner to his home because he thought I was a Brazilian actress.
Fantastic.
So then I had to explain to him that actually I was just little old me from Drimna. No, not quite as exciting.
But look, you've many strings to your bow because not only are you an actress, you're also a singer. Tell us about that. You've sung all over the place.
I am indeed. I'm I suppose, an international opera singer. I would have sung at the great opera houses of the world, at Covent Garden, La Scala. I've sung for all the great leaders of the world as well, I suppose, because they love to sort of hire you out as an Irish singer. And, you know, on St. Patrick's Day, sure, the world is your oyster.
But it must be good, say, that you have the Irish government coming to you, OK, we're going off to America, wherever we're going, and we want you to represent us.
It is, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling as an Irish person to say, gosh, I'm representing my country. And it's great to know that, you know, even in the bad times, Ireland has such a well of goodwill out there. I mean, people really abroad, they love the Irish. But the interesting thing was that, you know, for quite a lot of the time, I was, you know, on TV, on radio, in the newspapers, looking like a very famous, and I was a famous sort of, you know, opera singer who was doing very well. But a lot of the time I couldn't pay my bills. A lot of the time I was there going, you know, where is the next job coming from? And that's really what made me think right now, actually, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. So it was while you were staying at Dublin Castle that this change of career happened or came about. Somebody came up to you and said, can you help me?
I did. I can't say his name. It's a very famous American politician. And he asked if I could help him to do what I did on stage. And I said, OK, he either wants to wear a frock, he wants to learn to sing. And he said, no. He said,
I'll show you how to wear a frock.
Hey, I've heard the stories. Try wearing these heels, forget about the frock. But in reality, what he wanted to learn to do was to hold an audience. He wanted to know how to make an audience listen to him and to make himself be believable. And so I worked with him, and I went on and worked with many other politicians in South Africa, in the United States, in Germany, in the UK. I work a lot with politicians in the UK, and of course, occasionally with Irish politicians. Only the good ones.
So if somebody has absolutely no charisma and they don't have the message and they don't have the face and so on, are you saying that you can teach them how to be brilliant and how to captivate an audience?
Everybody has charisma, and that's the amazing thing, is that everybody has something that is unique to them. And it really is about being true to yourself. It's about actually encapsulating who you are, what you're good at, and realizing the things that you're good at. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the current economy think that whatever they've been working at for the last 5 years or 10 years, that's who they are. And it's very interesting. If you ask people, you know, sort of tell me a little bit about yourself, they'll usually say, I am an accountant, I am a TV presenter, rather than I am Carolanne and I work at communications. So people tend to identify themselves very strongly by actually, you know, what they do. And that becomes a dangerous thing, because then when they lose their job, they lose their own sense of identity. And I remember I was singing in Covent Garden actually on the 31st of October, and until then I had no money coming in. And quite often when I go around the country now and I say to people, you know, ask me this question, ask me what's my favourite cereal, and people go, well, we're here to learn about doing jobs. Why is she she needs medication? And I'd say, no, the reality is that my favourite cereal for years was the cheapest one. What could I afford to eat? So you have a persona that is bigger than you are, and then you have the reality. And how I overcame that was not just without, before I worked with the politicians, was that I discovered that I would get paid for singing, and I'd get paid maybe €1,000 for singing a concert. But then I discovered if I actually put the concerts on, well, then I actually made a lot more money because I made percentages on everything. Yeah. So I actually started running my own concerts, and then I discovered that actually I had a whole wealth of skills that weren't just about singing. Yeah. And that's where people are now. People have a whole wealth of skills. They need to look at their job-specific skills. They're the skills that people have had while they've been working for the last few years. And then they need to look at their transferable skills. Have they good interpersonal communications? Are they great on the telephone? Are they good with figures? Are they good with human resources?
And I like what you say about unemployed people, that they're not unemployed. Their employment is selling themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's the job they have to do.
Yeah, because I'm sure before you guys were incredibly famous and incredibly skilled at what you do now, that there were other things that you did. And everybody else is the same, but because we live in the world of television, it's kind of expected for us to interact like that. Yeah. But for people who have a set job, they don't realise that they actually have lots more skills. I'm sure actually Bill Cullen, I saw he was here earlier, and I know that he'll tell you...
Minutes,
yeah, absolutely. I was hoping he'd be sitting beside me. He's very cute.
Well, unfortunately, we just swap you for Bill, or fortunately for Claire, but I could stay here talking to you all day. Carolanne, it was a pleasure to have you in.
Great,
we might see you back in Fair City again
Thank
someday.
you. Please tell the people to go on to www.bluemoon.ie. You'll get a whole range of things that you can do to actually get yourself back onto the work market today.
And you can have a look at our website as well for more details on Carolanne's website and what she does. Now, our special guest this evening is a former fruit stall salesman who worked his way up to be a millionaire and controversially believes that we should work for our dole payments.
Yes, and Carolanne was just talking about him about 30 seconds ago. Of course, it is Bill Cullen. Have a look at this.
And the secret is work. It's a four-letter word ending in K. And I get up at 4 in the morning. To this day, I'm doing it for 60 years.
Are you still doing the mirror thing?
Pardon?
The mirror thing.
Of course I am. I'm terrific. Every time I'm shaving, I'm terrific. Let's go. What have I got to do today? Make it happen.
Every day?
Every day, without fail. No exceptions, no excuses. And I do my half-hour workout. I physically stay very fit. I feel all the energy bursting in me. And I go out there and I go like a tiger. That's what it's about. And I'm here going like a tiger, haven't I?